Hare Krishna everyone, we're continuing to read the Teachings of Lord Kapila, the book by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Chapter 15, Meditation on the Lord's Transcendental Forms. Continuing. Faith is explained by Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami thus. Shraddha Shabde Vishvasa Kahe Sudritha Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya. Quote, by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna. Transcendental loving service to Krishna. One automatically performs all subsidiary activities. This confident, firm faith, favorable to the discharge of devotional service, is called Shraddha. Unquote. Chaitanya Charitamrita 22.62. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that He is not only a person, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead as well. He also says that there is no one superior to Him. If one believes these words, then one will have faith. Impersonalists read Bhagavad Gita, but they do not accept Krishna as a person. In the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the impersonalist takes more trouble to come to him. He will come later, but it will take some time. This is because the impersonal understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth is partial understanding. As Krishna states, Kleshodhika tarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukham dehavadbhir avapyate. Quote, for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Unquote. Bhagavad Gita 12.5. We have often given the example of impersonal understanding being like the understanding of the sunshine. One may see the sunshine entering through the window into his room, but this does not mean that one knows everything about the sun. Impersonal understanding of the Absolute Truth is like that. The sunshine is impersonal, Brahman, and the sun itself is localized, Paramatma. And the sun god residing within the sun is a person, Bhagavan. Just as one can understand the three aspects of the sun, the sunshine, the sun itself, and the sun god, one can also understand the three aspects of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman. Impersonalists maintain that the sun is simply a fiery globe and nothing else. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna specifically states that he spoke Bhagavad Gita to the sun god, Vivasvan. Of course, we can hardly imagine how the sun god can be a person. The sun is a great fiery globe, and we think that it is impossible for anyone to live there. But this thinking is simply short-sighted. It does not follow that no one can live in fire just because we cannot live there. We cannot live in water, yet there are aquatics living there. We live on this planet, which is basically composed of earth, and our bodies are basically composed of earth in order to live here. bodies are made in such a way that they can live in their environment. Similarly, the sun god has a body capable of living in fire. Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigraha, being knowledge and bliss with form. Impersonal understanding is understanding of the Sat feature. Understanding Krishna in full is understanding all of his features. The Ananda feature is realized in Bhagavan. Krishna plays on his flute and is accompanied by his pleasure potency, Hladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani. Of Krishna's many potencies, the Hladini Shakti is his pleasure-giving potency. That is Ananda. Although Krishna is full in himself, he expands himself when he wants to enjoy. That expansion is his pleasure potency, Radharani. The gopis are the expansions of Radharani, and the various forms of Krishna are manifest just to taste the mellow of transcendental bliss. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Thus, Brahman realization is realization of Sat portion. Paramatma realization is realization of the Chit portion. And Bhagavan realization is the realization of the Ananda portion. In the Vedanta Sutra, it is said that the absolute truth is Anandamayo Vyasat. Krishna's Leela is always full of transcendental bliss, especially in Vrindavan, his original residence. It is in Vrindavan that Krishna plays with his cowherd boyfriends and dances with the gopis. It is also in Vrindavan that Krishna steals Mother Yashoda's butter. All his activities there are filled with transcendental bliss. We can begin to experience this bliss by following the prescribed methods of devotional service. When we see the deity, we can gradually realize how Krishna is smiling, playing on his flute, and enjoying the company of Srimati Radharani. Then we also have to hear about Krishna. These two processes will increase in such a way that we will automatically become great devotees. Aniccato me gatim anvim prayunkte. This is actually a scientific method. It is not imagination. People think that this is idol worship and imagination, but this method is prescribed in all the Shastras for developing God consciousness. It is an actual science. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Jnanam Paramaguhyam me yadvigyana samanvitam Sarahasyam tad angam cha grihana gaditam maya. Quote, the personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential, and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. Unquote. Srimad-Bhagavatam 2.9.31. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that he has revealed this most transcendental knowledge to him because Arjuna is his very dear friend. That confidential knowledge is Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Quote, just surrender unto me, unquote. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Brahman realization is certainly confidential, and Paramatma realization is still more confidential. But understanding Krishna as he is the most confidential knowledge of all. If one's mind and senses are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, one is experiencing Bhakti. Bhakti is not a sentiment, but a practical science. One may engage in many activities, but in all cases, one's mind must be fully absorbed in Krishna. Although a housewife is always busy working around the house, she always takes care that her hair is nicely combed. Regardless of her engagements, she never forgets to arrange her hair in an attractive way. Similarly, a devotee engages in many activities, but he never forgets Krishna's transcendental form. This is the meaning of perfection. Jai. So we have completed chapter 15, and tomorrow we shall begin chapter 16, the pure devotees' spiritual opulences. Very, very interesting. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please check out our website shravanamdiaries.com, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.